I'm going to show you how print leaders are actually using this today to drive growth. You saw a preview from Henrik in terms of the direction we are taking, allowing you to basically open up your facility and saying, hey, come use my machines, right? Let's do more business. I want to start by inviting Paul first as the first customer presenter. Paul has always been very passionate about the print buyer experience.
About me, I'm Paul Hudson, and I originally I just sort of assumed that I would just really gloss over that, but I'm delighted to realize there are a lot of people in this room I don't know. I kind of thought there would be like it would just be kind of like reunion of old friends, but there are all kinds of people here I don't know. So I'm looking forward to getting to meet a lot of you. So my business is Hudson Printing. It's in Salt Lake City. It's a very old business. Has been through a lot of transitions, including just in the last few weeks. As of just a few weeks ago, we are a digital print only company. Our roots are very much web offset and our legacy of many years, but we are all of a sudden now a digital print company. So all of my conversations with Gelato from the beginning have really been around this initial concept. Print is just still too hard to buy. It really is hard to buy for most people. In fact, in the last summit in Madrid, Kevin from Honblue, and I'm paraphrasing here, I don't think I got this right, but I don't think Kevin's here. He said, it's a lot of work to be a print buyer. And that just resonated with me because it's exactly correct. So I've always believed that AI, the initial application for printing would be to create this language bridge for people who don't speak print jargon. Our jargon is really, really difficult. It's a foreign language to most people, and I thought that AI would be a great way for people who just need help and want something printed to be able to describe what they want and then be able to have the AI interpret that into our very complicated jargon and print instructions. So that's what got me so excited about the AI estimator when we were, talking about this months ago, because I just saw that as a fantastic way to create that bridge. And many of you know that like our website has actually been live with the AI estimator since last September, and it's been very interesting. It's been an evolution. Not everything has been a win. Because some people don't want to chat, right? Other people have been delighted to chat, and then we have had the advantage. One of the things you may not know is that when people interact with the chat, they can then submit the quote, which then we receive inside our Gelato software, and then we can work with it. But we can also see what people come and chat and they don't submit. And so I've had the habit of monitoring those unsubmitted chats every single day because I'm very interested to see what people will come to the site and what they'll say. And sometimes it's a delightful interaction, and I'll send it off to Pradeep and I'll say, "Hey, look at how well this interaction, like this back and forth went, with this prospect." And other times it missed. Like other times it didn't kind of give exactly the answer I would have liked. And or maybe it's given an answer on a product we don't produce or something like that. So I've really had to kind of like watch it, and then every single day I've gone in and then modified the guidance so that it gives better, more direct answers, the kind of thing that I would give. I guess leveraging what was said a minute ago, like I'm giving my 35 years of experience or whatever into this software. So it's been a very interesting journey on this. So, and from this is from actually the leader of my customer facing team. Just a couple of days ago, he sent me a text like, "I just knocked out this quote in 5 minutes, quote letter included," and it was a very complicated hardcover book. And so he was just ecstatic. What I didn't share then was also from the customer. He shared me the text from the customer saying, "Oh, thanks for getting right back to me," whatever. So very much according to the theme we've just kind of hit. So from this perspective, from the team's perspective, from the estimating speed perspective, from the cost saving perspective of estimators, it's been successful for us. It's taken, a lot of work to get everything right, but been very successful. So what I'm actually here to talk about isn't any of that. More, it's has to do with like Okay, well then what's sort of beyond chat? How do we actually take this cost estimation savings, this speed improvement, and now how do we turn that into growth? That's already been mentioned here a couple of times, but how do we make it more of a visual experience? How do we make it more of an interactive experience? How do we dominate our own local market based on having this tool available? So this is actually, you'll see it at the top. This is a live URL, shop.hudsonprinting.com. And what we have here now is now the what I spoke a minute ago when Henrik asked me, kind of like what I think the revolution is on top of the initial AI estimator revolution. So what we have is this site, which is now much more visual, and it kind of looks enormous. But now I have the ability to, from my AI estimator setup, basically drive different categories. So in this case, I've got books category, which we're well equipped to do, and then I have kind of the subcategories of books. Oops. So let's actually just go into this particular one. And now what you'll see is much more of a storefront experience, right? It's visually engaging, and I'm a pretty fan of that. I can still actually drive with the estimator. So I might say, 200 coffees. Oops. Sorry, I'm not doing this well. Let's call it 8.8.5 by 11. Maybe let's say 144 pages. I don't know. Oops, that's not right either. And I'm in caps lock too. How about that? Okay. So now you'll see the AI now taking over. It's good at kind of like, because it does take a few seconds, right? So it's nice in terms of like the timing that it kind of lets you know. And then it can come back, and so what you're seeing here in terms of the sort of clarification questions, these are things that you drive from your guidance suggestions or product suggestions inside of the guidance tool in Gelato. So I could continue to chat here, but you can see I'm already producing a price. So and what you have now is this very visual way to come in and now kind of like adjust a quote. So if I'm happy with this, great. But like, what if I change to 174 pages? Okay, great. What if, oh, you know what? I really want to go to silk paper. Actually, that's what I meant. Okay, what if I actually want 250 copies? And now we have instant reaction, instant price changes. I can also, like, oh, I should have added laminate, or, and again, the way that the base reaction is set up from your AI estimator setup. All of this is driven from the AI estimator. What you can see now is a very visually rich storefront type experience that where a person can come in and toggle and move and adjust any kind of like element of that print product. And again, it's specific to the product. And again, let me emphasize all of this, all of the categories, all of the pricing, everything that is presented here is driven from my AI estimator setup. What I would do at this moment now is print quote request, and then I don't want to take the time to type that in, but what it would then appear inside of my Gelato software, where a person can pick it up. That doesn't mean, though, that in the very near future, we won't be able to actually conclude the transaction and take payment and everything right here. So in my mind, this is a really significant advancement over what we've seen in the past. And then I want to actually demonstrate one other thing too, which is it's really nice that the agent itself has gotten a lot smarter as well. So you could say, should I laminate? The conversational and the teaching ability of the agent recently has gotten really, really good as well. And so what you can, let's see. Let me pull from here. So it can come back and talk about, laminate coding, and talk about different types of laminate, like the types, the smartness of the answers have gotten really good for users, because they just don't often know. And then just the last thing I'll do, because I'm probably way over time already, is just that this is the back end. It's all been developed very rapidly, very flexible way to build what I just showed you. And I don't think we need to take any more time on that, but that's it.
Thank you.
Just a question. Daily basis, the guidance from where you started to where you are now, is it completely different?
Yeah, it's a lot different, and it's different in a couple of ways. One is, I'm just refining it for because of the interactions I see. Second thing is, I think, and Pradeep could speak to this, but I think the agent's just gotten a lot smarter at being trained on all things print, so that you don't have to tell it nearly the detail I think that in the past. And I think in some ways it's almost better not to. I think that was because you saw actually my original guidance and it was like this big long document. It's actually quite a bit shorter now because the agent itself has gotten smarter about all things print. And now I only have to kind of like deal with the nuance.
Thank you, Paul. Uh, So just to recap, for those of you who might have questions around, what this is linked to your AI estimator. The biggest problem in web to print, when I speak to BSPs, is that in web to print, you need to create your own price table, which is a static price table. The minute your suppliers change prices, the minute you want to change your pricing, you need an admin whose full-time job it is to just manage those web to print storefronts. I see a few heads nodding. We are completely disrupting that today. All of your prices come straight from the AI estimator, which is your source of truth, which already has the calculations, your supplier prices, and all of that. So you don't have to create another point solution for web to print and host it separately. And this backend here, this example that Paul shared is more B2C oriented. So he wants to create his own B2C site. But just imagine that you're going to create this one for Mercedes and you just call it Mercedes. You can spin up as many storefronts as you want. And in AI estimator, you can set as many rules as you want to say how to price for each of those customers. So this is something that we're handing out. It's an announcement from the summit, and we're very excited about this.
So just one reflection on what you said, Paul. When you said we spun up this really quickly, we spun up this in 6 years. And it's just important also to take a step back and realize that what you're seeing the benefit of now is consumer, which is 18 years in the making, but it's also create, which we've worked with for 6 years. And the real change that we took after having spoken to many of you is, why should we sit on all this knowledge? Why should we sit on all this technology? Why shouldn't we give it to you as our Connect customers? And that's really what we're doing. So the reason why it went so fast, Paul, was also because we just captured the last 6 years of development and we gave it back to you. The other thing that after lunch, we will speak about Storefront and just explain exactly what StoreLink, what it actually is, because I got a bunch of questions about that. So we will begin after lunch and just go through and explain exactly what that is. But what I just want to say is StoreLink is basically what you want to do with it. Like if you want to sell to B2C consumers, that's StoreLink. If you want to sell to B2B, that's StoreLink. The difficult thing is not to launch StoreLink. The difficult thing is what we've did the last 6 years and last 17 years. I think it is important just for you to realize that come with what you want and we will deliver it and build it. So there is really no reason for you to say, oh, you don't have that. Or, well, I wanted that button there. You don't have that. We have built what you need. So let me explain after lunch exactly what StoreLink is. But B2C, B2B, web to print, whatever you want to call it, that's basically what we've built during the last 6 years. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you for that, Henrik. It's so powerful when we think about the next generation of buyers. Imagine your largest customer who's sending you emails every single day. Like, would they appreciate this? What percentage of your volume could come through a channel like this, where you can customize this page and hand it out to your customers, right? And one of the key changes that we did, again based on your feedback, is like, well, some people love the chat experience. I personally believe that's where the world is going to. But if you want your click and buy experience, which people are used to, that is also married. So this is a hybrid system.